head coaching a player there. Opened the season with Edward Waters at home, and then right out of the gate, it's a non-conference game with Mississippi State. Coach, that's not a very tough game to have, is it?
I know. We're looking forward to it, though. It's a game that we scheduled. It's an in-state team, and I think it's important to play those type of games because I want my guys. Everybody says the SEC is the best conference in the land, so I want my guys to play against them and have that opportunity. And you leave no doubts. You know how you match up.
I apologize. I didn't give you an introduction. Jay Hopson here with us from Alcorn State, along with his defensive back, Jamison Knox, here with us at the SWAC Football Media Day. I guess you can take a deep breath now. Last season is over with, right?
Which it was probably, I don't know if it's ever been done. I'm sure somebody might have done it, but it was somewhat of a whirlwind. I tell you, the kids came in August 5th. You're learning to play for the first time. And at this time of the year last year, I was just trying to get my staff finished and complete, And so then we get into August 5th.
That's not the way it works.
That's right. Then August 5th, now they got to start learning plays and figure out. And we started 3 weeks later, the 31st, we opened up with. So at least this year we've had a chance to go through spring training. I think the players and the coaches are all familiar with each other. I think the system, more importantly, I think everybody understands the system. And so I think we're looking forward to. I thought spring went really good, and we're looking forward to building on spring and continue our climb.
We just talked about it before you got here again. So you're telling me August you're still putting together a staff, so to speak, and it's an all new system. And you're trying to implement plays, and 3 weeks later.
Like I said, I don't know if it's been done before, but if it has, I certainly didn't have a reference point. I had nobody I could talk to about it. I know that for sure.
Well, again, but with that quick turnaround. You opened the season in the Shreveport Classic with the defending champs at that time in Grambling State. And midway through that game, I got to be honest, rain starts coming down. It doesn't really look like you guys are going to pull that one out.
That's right. The kids kept fighting, and something we talk about, and just really played strong in the fourth quarter, and we were able to come back and get it. But, and the SWAC's such a competitive league, top to bottom. It's every Saturday is a battle. And, you got to be ready to play every Saturday, 4 quarters. It's that simple.
Jamison, talk about that game last season in the Shreveport Classic and that come-from-behind victory. You give your all-new head coach's first win of the season in dramatic fashion.
And give those guys all the credit because they're the ones that did it.
Talk about that game last season, Jamison.
It was very big for us, and that was the second year we played in that game, and it happened to rain. So the previous year, we were it wasn't new, so we just knew adversity had struck. And we had to bounce back and we had to fight. And it was a good opportunity for the team. And I was just glad we were able to get Coach Hop that win on his first game coaching as a Brave.
I can remember seeing that game from the beginning, and the tailback, I forget his name, for Southern that year. I just remember maybe 3 or 4 straight plays. They just turned around and handed him the ball, and it looked like you guys were struggling to stop a run. And you come up with a big goal line stance on their opening drive. And from there, you could kind of see, Alcorn is not going to lay down in this game. Talk about that game again and the make of it in that opening drive as a defensive player.
Well, we just had to come out and do what we supposed to do. We work on tackling we go through tackling circuits. We do tackling drills every day at practice. So we just that's what we were set out to do. Had to make tackles and play hard for each other and hold each other accountable.
Right. So, Coach, Alcorn's 2-8 the season before, and you were 4-7 last season. So obviously you double your win total. If people who are not familiar with you, your resume is a little bit longer than people may think. I'm looking here and I see Tulane, Delta State, LSU, Florida, Marshall, Southern Miss, Ole Miss, Michigan, Memphis, and Alcorn. Did I get them all?
I think you got them all. I think that's how you're right on.
Now,
it's the life of a football coach. Huh?
Were you a grad assistant at LSU in '94?
Yeah, actually I was for Coach Bennett, and actually I tell you it was a great learning process for me because actually where as a graduate assistant I was given a lot of.
When you talk about Alcorn football and your brand and what you like to communicate from your players in terms of your strategy, what do we get from Alcorn with your coaching strategy behind these guys, behind the Brewers?
We want to see a football team that is relentless, that is a motivated football team that, like Jamison just talked about, a team that's not going to cow down to adversity and is going to continue to battle. And we took on a big challenge, but I think we're right on track, and we talk to the kids about the things that we can do better to win that championship. That's what we're all here for, to win the SWAC championship, and I think they understand that, and I've been very pleased with their progress. They're really developing at the rate that we want them to develop, and now we got to get ready to play, because it's all about what you do on Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely.
So that time is coming upon us, and hope we've got to put the hard work in to be successful.
Alcorn State head coach Jay Hopson here, along with his defensive back Jamison Knox. You got another guy, Arnold Walker, running back, 6 feet, 226. What does he bring to the table for you?
Arnold is the thing, and I was telling a reporter earlier today, the thing I love about Arnold and Jamison is they're hard-nosed physical football players.
Right.
Arnold's that running back like Jamison. Jamison, they're both going to hit you. They're both going to take the fight to you. Arnold's not that running back that you want to see in the defensive backfield if you're a DB. He runs hard. He runs behind his pads, and we're expecting a big season out of both of them. They're two of our senior leaders. Like I said, we don't have a huge senior class. I think we only have 6 seniors this year.
Right.
So they're guys that we're counting on to lead us on and off the football field. But again, the thing that I love about these two young men is they're physical and they're competitive, and I think that's the brand of football that we want to play.
Is it safe to say the strength of your team perhaps could be in the secondary? You got 3 starters.
Got a lot of guys back, and I love that. I love the fact that I'm getting a secondary that's playing together from a young age, and that's worth its weight in gold, because they still have even another year or two to play with each other, because they played together. Like I said, we were such a freshman, sophomore team last year, so these guys are playing together, and you can just see them developing because they're young and they played together as freshmen. Now they're getting it, and they just, I've noticed that as a DB coach for years. I had that group after they got through their sophomore year, they played together. That a year or two later, it was easy money out there, because they got it down, and I think I'm beginning to see that development in the back end, so I'm excited about the defensive backfield.
What kind of coach is Coach Hopson for you, Jamison? Do you find him being on you guys more than anybody, being a DB, since that's his background most of the time?
Yes, sir, but it helps us. The pressure makes us perform better.
Do you ever come to him and wonder, hey, can you spread the wealth to some of this fussing to some of the
I jump down those linebackers quite a few.
Oh, you get on the linebackers?
I get on the D-line too.
Okay.
I kind of push back in that back 7 though.
So he's not as hard as I guess comparatively, if you will, to the other positions, right?
He'll have his days, but Coach Hop, he played every position, so he could coach every position.
That's right. Coach, talk about your season opener. You come home August 31st. You open the season with Edward Waters, and you talked about quickly bouncing back and going to Starkville, Mississippi State. But talk about your opener.
We're excited about it. Interesting note on that Edward Waters game. They're an NAIA school out of Florida. And the tough thing about NAIA schools is you can get kids in that don't make NCAA requirements. So there's going to be some talented football players out there. But it's a game that we looked at the media guide, and the last time that we played Edward Waters, which Meg Evers was at Alcorn. He played against him, I think it was in 1952. So it's kind of, with the memorial dedication back in May, it's kind of a little historical home opener for us.
Right.
And then after that, we go to Mississippi State, which we know is an SEC football program that's outstanding. But hopefully we'll have a big crowd for Edward Waters, and then we'll come back for a home opener with Valley in-state at home, and hopefully we'll have a big crowd for that game. And of course we have homecoming down the road. We're going to road 2 weeks in a row, and come back for homecoming. So hopefully we can get some big crowds, and we were blessed last year to have some big crowds in Norman, and hopefully we want to continue that.
Head coach for Alcorn State here with us, Jay Hopson, and Jamison Knox, defensive back from the Braves as well. Coach Jamison, appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you along the way this season.
Appreciate it. Come see us